Hello everybody and welcome back to Goalie Hub, and in today's video we will be going over my top 5 free agent goaltenders available for this offseason. And yes, I did do a video like this last year in 2019, so if you want to go check that out, then click the link up here in the top corner. And yeah, I gotta work on my finger positioning for this. I'm not good at this yet. Before we get going with the video, if you're brand new to the channel and love goaltending and just hockey in general, then please subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications to get notified whenever I upload a brand new video, as I upload every single Sunday, so definitely look out for videos then. But anyways, let's get going with the video, boys. So coming in at number 5 on my list, I have Thomas Griess from the New York Islanders. Currently, he is 34 years old, and last season he played in 31 games, putting up 16 wins and a .913 save percentage. In the playoffs, he only played 4 games, putting up 2 wins and a .929 save percentage. So I think in free agency, Thomas Griess could probably get around $3 to $4 million per season on a contract, maybe like a 2 to 3 year deal, considering he is 34. And some potential fits for Griess might be the Buffalo Sabres, the Minnesota Wild, and the Detroit Red Wings. And for the Sabres, I think they're going to be in the market for a better goaltender, as Carter Hutton wasn't very good last year, and they need another guy to go with Linus Ullmark. And for the Minnesota Wild, they're in the same boat, as it looks like Devan Dubnyk might be traded or bought out this offseason, so that'll leave them with only Alex Stalock, so they're definitely going to want another guy to play with Stalock, I think. And I think Griess could definitely come in and play very well. And for the Detroit Red Wings, they could use an upgrade in net very badly, and I think Griess could definitely be a nice little stopgap to maybe get them out of the rebuild in the next couple of seasons. Coming in at number 4 on my list, I have Corey Crawford from the Chicago Blackhawks. And actually, I can pretty much guarantee that he will probably re-sign with the Blackhawks after I upload this video, because why not? Anyways, Corey Crawford is currently 35 years old, and last season he played 40 games, going 16, 20, and 3, with a 2.77 goals against average and a .917 save percentage. In the playoffs, he played 9 games, going 4 and 5, with a 3.31 goals against and a .907 save percentage. But I must say, he did steal the Blackhawks a game against Vegas, and overall was really good in that series, as the team in front of him was not very good. His expected salary in free agency for me would probably be similar to Thomas Griess, as he could probably get $3 to $4 million on maybe like a 2-year deal or something like that. Definitely not a long-term deal, obviously, because of his age. And I think some potential fits for Crawford could be Chicago, Edmonton, and Washington. Obviously, Chicago would be the front runner there, as he said he wants to re-sign with the Blackhawks, and that would just make a lot of sense. Maybe he takes a bit of a pay cut and only signs for like $2.5 million, maybe $3 million, instead of maybe signing for $4 million somewhere else, because he has said he wants to stay there. And I know Chicago doesn't have a lot of cap room. Recently today, they did trade away Olli Maatta, which definitely helps out their cap situation a bit. And I do think the Blackhawks would want Crawford back, and that would just be very beneficial for Chicago. As for Edmonton, I think Crawford would work very well in a tandem with Mikko Koskinen. And overall, the Oilers don't have a lot of money to spend, so spending a little bit of money on a guy like Crawford would, I think, be very wise, as he could definitely stabilize that tandem in net. And as for the Washington Capitals, they have Ilya Samsonov. Obviously, they're going to lose Braden Holtby in free agency. The team already confirmed that. And I think bringing in Crawford as a backup to Samsonov, or maybe like a tandem option, would definitely work well. Crawford could mentor Ilya Samsonov. And if Samsonov really doesn't work well, maybe he doesn't play very well at the start of the year, Crawford could come in and play a few games and help the team win, which is definitely what Washington needs to do. Coming in at the number 3 spot on my list, I have the recent Stanley Cup finalist and current Dallas Star, Anton Khudobin. He's currently 34 years old, and last season in 30 games played, put up a record of 16, 8, and 4, with a 2.22 goals against average and a .930 save percentage. And in the playoffs, in 25 games, filling in for the injured Ben Bishop, Khudobin went 14 and 10 with 1 shutout, a 2.69 goals against average, and a .917 save percentage. Some potential fits I could see for Khudobin would obviously be the Dallas Stars, Chicago Blackhawks, and Vancouver Canucks. And in free agency on the open market, I think Khudobin could probably get around $3.5 to $4.5 million per season. For the Dallas Stars, Khudobin I think will likely re-sign there, and the only way he doesn't re-sign there is if he prices himself out of Dallas and maybe wants too much money. But overall, I think Dallas would really want him back, and he's definitely proven over the past couple of seasons that he's a really good backup goalie and can come in and play really well, which is what Dallas needs considering Ben Bishop has a glass body and gets injured a lot. So definitely I think there's mutual interest there to bring Khudobin back to Dallas. As for the Chicago Blackhawks, I think even if they re-sign Corey Crawford, they're still going to take a look at Khudobin if he hits the open market, as Malcolm Subban's also a UFA and I highly doubt they're going to re-sign him. So if you go into next season with a tandem of Crawford and Khudobin, I think that would work very well for Chicago. And if they don't re-sign Corey Crawford, then I think they'll definitely look at Khudobin, as Khudobin really proved in the playoffs that he could take on the role of a #1 goalie, and maybe he'd get that opportunity in Chicago and maybe help them make the playoffs again next season. And for the third team on the list, I have the Vancouver Canucks, of course, and I think that the only way he signs there is, of course, if they don't sign Jacob Markstrom, which I think there's still a chance they might do that. But if they don't, I think Khudobin could come in and sort of split the net with Thatcher Demko, as I think Demko's ready for an increased role than just being an NHL backup, but I don't think he's quite ready to be an NHL starter yet. So Khudobin could come in, maybe mentor Demko a little bit, and the two of them would be a very good tandem for Vancouver and really help them reach the playoffs again next season. Speaking of Jacob Markstrom, I have him at the #2 spot on my list. He's currently 30 years old, and last season in 43 games with the Vancouver Canucks, he put up 23 wins, a 2.75 goals against, and a .918 save percentage. In the playoffs, I think he played even better than he did in the regular season, as in 14 games he went 8-6 with a 2.85 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. As for some potential fits for Markstrom, would be of course the Vancouver Canucks, and I think if he hits the open market, the Calgary Flames might be interested, as would be the San Jose Sharks. And on the open market, I think a comparable contract to look at here would be the Robin Lehner extension that just got recently signed, as I think Markstrom could get similar salary to that, maybe $5 to $6 million, somewhere in that range. For the fits, I think Vancouver obviously would be the #1 option for Markstrom, as both teams, I think, or both parties, would definitely want him back, as Markstrom was a huge part of the Canucks' success this season, and Markstrom showed in the playoffs that he could really carry the team on his back. So I think he's very valuable to the Canucks, and the Canucks are going to try and do whatever it takes to get him re-signed. But if they don't re-sign him, the Calgary Flames will definitely be looking into him, as I think Cam Talbot is going to be let go by the Flames, but I'm not 100% sure, as Talbot could re-sign there. I know they're in talks with him, but if they don't re-sign Talbot, they should definitely look at Markstrom. They have quite a bit of cap space to do it. I know they do have to re-sign a lot of their defensemen, but maybe they lose one of them and in turn sign Jacob Markstrom, as Markstrom and Riddick could work very well as a tandem for Calgary and help stabilize that position in net. As for the third team, the San Jose Sharks, they need a goalie very, very bad. Martin Jones put up his first consistent season in San Jose last season. Unfortunately, he was consistently bad. He just could not stop the puck, and Aaron Dell really wasn't much better, and I think goaltending really cost them a shot at the playoffs. So if they get a guy like Markstrom, they could definitely rebound next season and maybe even make a deep playoff run. So they're definitely going to look at Jacob Markstrom. And finally, at the #1 spot on my list, I have Braden Holtby from the Washington Capitals. He's currently 31 years old, and last season in 48 games, he had his worst season of his NHL career, as he put up 25 wins, but a disastrous 3.11 goals against average and a .897 save percentage. That's pretty rough. And in the playoffs, he really wasn't much better, as the Capitals lost in the first round. And in those games from the first round and in the round robin, Holtby went 2-5-1 with a 2.49 goals against average and a .906 save percentage. And some potential fits I could see for Braden Holtby would be the Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames, and San Jose Sharks. I think currently he makes $6.1 million, I'm pretty sure, and I could definitely see him getting similar money to that, as he hasn't really earned an upgrade in his salary. So definitely in the $5.5 to $6.5 million range would be definitely comfortable for Braden Holtby. The first team I could see Holtby signing with would be the Edmonton Oilers, and we saw in the play-in round against the Blackhawks, goaltending really hurt them. I still don't know why they started Mike Smith in Game 1 when Koskinen clearly was the better goalie, but either way, I think signing Holtby might be a high-risk move, but it also might be a high-reward move, as Holtby, obviously, he was very good in those few years from like 2013 to 2017, maybe even a bit before then. He won a Vezina trophy in there, he tied a Martin Brodeur record in there, so there's definitely some serious upside to signing Braden Holtby, as he's really only had a down year this season, and the year before this he had a .911 save percentage, so definitely he could be a good starter and help stabilize that net in Edmonton. And Calgary, sort of the same reason, as Cam Talbot had to take over as the starting goalie in the playoffs, and he looked okay, but they could definitely use an upgrade, and I think Braden Holtby might not be a bad option for them. They're definitely going to look into signing Holtby, as again they do have a lot of cap space, and they could definitely utilize that on a guy like Holtby, and Holtby and Riddick might be a good tandem for Calgary. And as for the third team, the San Jose Sharks, I've kind of already talked about this. They need a goalie really bad. Holtby might be even better than Markstrom, and maybe Holtby playing with guys like Erik Karlsson and Brent Burns in front of him. I know they're not the greatest defensively, but maybe just a change of scenery too might help him out. And again, the Sharks would definitely benefit from signing Holtby, and Holtby could maybe return to his previous form and help the Sharks make a deep run. So that is the end of my list, and that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also comment down below who you think will go where. For example, in the thumbnail, I put Jacob Markstrom in a Flames jersey and Braden Holtby in an Oilers jersey. So definitely let me know down there where you think a guy like Markstrom or Holtby will sign. And also, if you're brand new to the channel and love goaltending and just hockey in general, then please subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications to get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And also follow me on Instagram. It's at @goalie_hub. I post some extra goalie content on there and other things like that, so definitely go give that a follow. And yeah, that's basically all I have for today. I hope all of you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys in the next video.